CCL Sports Cards fans, welcome back. It is time to play ball, with minor league baseball season set to begin this coming Tuesday, April 5th, which admittedly is a little strange since Major League Baseball won't begin until a few days later, but that is of course due to the lockout running well into March. I thought it would be super fun and important to take a look at how the spring has gone for some of the players' cards I've been recommending since the launch of this channel a little over 4 months ago. But before we get to that, if you like the content and enjoy this channel, be sure to hit that like icon and subscribe and support the Drive to 5. Yes, folks, we are getting closer and closer to 500 subscribers, so thank you very much. Kicking off our progress report, as I like to think of it, with the very first player I recommended early last November in Garrett Triolo of the Pittsburgh Pirates. This spring, Garrett has gone 1 for 4 with a double, an RPI, and an OPS of 700, appearing in 4 games. Not bad for a guy who wasn't on anyone's radar last season. The real excitement with Jared, however, is what scouts from other teams have been saying about him. Jared's development between 2021 spring training to this year's spring training is mind-blowing. He's turning heads and has a Ryan Zimmerman type of ceiling and has a chance to be scary good on both sides of the ball. I mean, wow, that's high praise. I imagine Jared starts the season at AA Altoona, but would not rule out AAA at all, and a possible MLB debut for this kid in 2022, even if he is blocked by the talented Brian Hayes at third base. Next up, Wilder Pitino of the Arizona Diamondbacks. While Pitino only appeared in 1 game this spring with the big club on April the 1st, and he struck out, I was still delighted to see him even get a look as his stock has fallen considerably. I first discussed Wilder and I just invested $4,000 in MLB prospects, which first aired back in December. I still really like this kid. He's only 20 years old until July. His cards are dirt cheap. He has great tools and has to just stay healthy. He's always smiling and seems to love the game, which I'm a big fan of. I imagine he starts the season at Hyatt Hillsborough for the D-backs. Then we've got Jordan Westberg of the Baltimore Orioles. I talked about Jordan and I just invested $30,000 on 2020 Bowman draft. This spring, Jordan has gone 4 for 8, hitting 500. With a double, a stolen base, and appearing in 4 games. That's a very good showing in limited time, and I see Jordan heading to AAA Norfolk to begin the year, and a possible MLB debut in 2022. He's just that good. Next up, Garrett Mitchell of the Milwaukee Brewers. You can check out why I like Mitchell so much, and I just invested Not All Gold is Yellow. Garrett has had a decent spring as well, appearing in 3 games, notching 3 hits, one of them a double, in just 6 at-bats. He had 1 RBI and a steal for good measure. There's so much to like in Garrett. Did you know he has a 70 on his scouting report for his wheels? I didn't. I somehow missed it. However, given how much Garrett struggled last season at AA Biloxi, I imagine he is headed back there to get some work, and feel he has done enough in big league camp to get another look and another shot at AA. Then we've got Alec Burlson of the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, at first blush, Alec has had a pretty lousy spring, but thankfully, given all the damage he did at 3 levels in the minors last season, he got a good long look in spring training this year, appearing in 11 games at his first big league camp. Alec had 28 at-bats, hitting a paltry 143, which is not great. But you gotta dig in just a little bit here. Those numbers are a little skewed, as he was hitless in his first 6 games. And in his last 5, he's gone 4 for 13, hitting .308 with a double, 3 runs batted in, and even walking 1, suggesting he is settling in these last 5 games. I talked about the reasons I am investing in Mr. Burleson in the episode My Top 3 Prospects to Load Up On Now, which aired back in January. I still really like Alec a lot. His cards are cheap, and I see him heading back to AAA Memphis to start the season. But when he turns it on, as he's done throughout his minor league career, I expect to see him at a Cardinals uni before the season closes out. Then we get to Drew Romo, who was also referenced in the exact same episode as Alec. Drew doesn't have much to talk about with regards to his 2022 MLB spring training, although he was a non-roster invitee, and at 20 years of age, that is impressive for a switch-hitting catcher. Romo appeared in 3 games, compiling 4 at-bats, no hits, but notching a walk and an RBI. I will take it and continue to add to my Romo pile, and in fact, just picked up his first Bowman Auto Red, 1 of 5 in SGC 9.5 today. Drew will in all likelihood begin the year at High A Spokane, given how well he played at Low A Fresno in 2021. And speaking of catchers, how about the spring training that Patrick Bailey is putting together? Appearing in 6 games for the Giants and getting 12 at-bats, Bailey hit .333 with 2 doubles, a home run, 2 runs batted in, and not a strikeout to be seen. A drastic improvement over his 2021 MLB Big League camp where he hit just .077. I have quite a bit into Mr. Bailey as well and his 2020 first Bowman draft autos. Obviously, the jewels being the 2 red BGS slabs. One I just featured and I just invented $13,000 in MLB prospects and starts, which first aired just last week. I talk about why I liked Bailey so much in 3 underrated MLB prospects to own right now. I imagine Bailey will start at High A Eugene, but very quickly move to AA Richmond, which is not bad at all given he is just 22. Lastly, we come to left-handed hitting Alec Thomas, outfield prospect for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He was the 3rd guy I talked about in my top 3 prospects to load up on now. If you're curious why I'm so high on Alec, have a look at that episode. And while Alec's spring training wasn't mind-blowing, he did appear in 10 games and notched 27 at-bats, hitting .227 with a total of 6 hits. 2 of them were doubles. 4 runs batted in, but 9 strikeouts. Arizona took a long, hard look at Alec, but felt it much better to option him back to AAA Reno to start the season. I imagine he has a killer 2022 campaign and fully expect him to debut for the D-backs this summer. Not only debut, but dominate. He has such a high ceiling in my opinion. With that, let's rock and roll. I am beyond excited to see both minor league baseball and Major League Baseball get their regular seasons rolling this week. Raise your hand if you're excited. Happy Sunday, all.